It's 6:30 p.m. on Monday evening, and I figured that this week would be the week that I commit to a full week reading vlog. I've been wanting to include this in my content somewhere for a while, and so I'm really excited to be starting one. We will see whether I film through the end of the week, and if you see this footage, it means that I have, in fact, remembered to film all 5 days for the week. But yeah, just figured if I have an evening, I might spend an hour doing a reading vlog, and I am going to start with reading through some of my TBR for the month of August, starting with Bromantasy. This is a what tropes include dummies to lovers. There was only one bed. Oops, we've accidentally adopted a child, and I need to eat some cheese about this. I'm really excited about this, really looking forward to it. So let's see how much of Bromantasy I can get through today. Starting this morning, I did start in on reading Margot's Got Money Troubles. I am liking this a lot more this time around. I think when I was reading it in January of 2025, I was not enjoying it nearly as much for whatever reason, but it's much better this go around. So I'm about 2 hours into that. I have a long ride tomorrow in the car, a long ride back tomorrow in the car. And so since I have a lot of car time tomorrow, hopefully I will make some progress on that book as well. I gave such a cursory summary of that book, but I wanted to go ahead and read the back of it to you because it is just too fun. Fellas, is it gay to kiss your BFF while gallivanting through the forest on a quest that you're unqualified for? Juniper Riley is good at only two things: demolishing a pint of mead and finding the perfect skincare routine. Everything else, taking care of the farm, bartering for goods, and any sort of manual labor, falls to Juniper's best friend, the absurdly capable, the endlessly patient Mo Elmthorn. But when Juniper accidentally volunteers them to both for a quest to kill the fearsome monster, he knows he's finally gotten in over his head. Juniper hates camping, he hates the dark, and there is no way all these foraged mushrooms are going to sit well in his stomach. One thing he doesn't hate: how good Mo's thighs look in his questing pants. He doesn't have time to think about that, though, with a monster to hunt and their futures on the line. But monsters come in all shapes and sizes. When Juniper and Mo realize that the terrifying beast they've sworn to kill is just a scared little girl torn from her family, they're off to find not only the true villain of the story, but maybe even a happy ending. It's roughly 9 p.m. on Tuesday, and I haven't done any reading yet today. I am very tired. I got up super early this morning. I have to get up super early tomorrow morning, but I wanted to make sure I got some reading in. I have been slacking on the writing, but who's shocked about that at this point? So I am trying to decide whether I finish Bromantasy or finish Anywhere You Go. So I got through half of Bromantasy yesterday, and I'm also about halfway through Anywhere You Go. I think I'm going to go ahead and finish Bromantasy now that I'm talking through it. To be honest, I don't remember the first half of the plot for Anywhere You Go, and I am too tired to reasonably do that. Bromantasy has gotten to a place where the plot is picking up, which good, because the first 150 pages are just a lot of setup and questing and things like that. But at the halfway mark, we meet the young girl that's mentioned on the synopsis. So I'm really excited to see where the book goes, and join me for a little bit of reading. Okay, having now finished this book, I genuinely enjoyed this. I needed this book to be as silly as it was. Imagine if The Princess Bride was even sillier and funnier. That is kind of the vibe that Bromantasy brings to the story. The characters are so charming and lovable, but also there's a lot of heart in this book. And I think that a lot of the time when I'm reading and I think about Romantasy as a genre, right? I have been very hesitant to get into it, in part because there's a lot of seriousness and political posturing, and this was not that. Okay, so I skipped Wednesday. I was busy. So we are back at it on Thursday. I have spent all day at long story, whatever. But it is dark out now, and I really promised myself I was going to film when it was light out so that the lighting would look a little bit better, but oh well. I'm gonna go start reading Anywhere You Go, finish Anywhere You Go. I've read half of it and I like it so far. It's good. I'm really enjoying it. It's the sort of book that feels like it could be a Hallmark movie, which I like in books, and like an elevated Hallmark movie. Like, I think that an indie rom-com might be the right vibe. I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, I remember the first half of it vaguely from the synopsis. So at least there's that. Like, sometimes I will read half of a book and I will go to pick it back up and realize that I have completely forgotten what the book is about. And then I have to make the decision as to whether to restart or just pick back up from the middle. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I will always pick up from the middle and just kind of hope that I kind of catch up with the book. So yeah, I'm going to see how much of this I get through this evening. It's about 8:30 p.m. I have to share the synopsis of this book before I share my thoughts about it. So, a small town waitress and a big city Broadway press agent swap homes to escape the messiness of their personal lives, only to find new purpose and new love. Tatum Ward and Eleanor Chapman lead totally opposite lives. Tatum has never left her Midwestern hometown. She resides in a quaint guest cottage of her parents' property while working part-time as a waitress, where she spends most of her shifts ignoring her feelings about the beautiful regular named June. Eleanor dedicates every waking hour to her high-profile press career, sacrificing personal relationships for professional success, save for the occasional hookup to fight off her loneliness. When both women's lives unexpectedly blow up at exactly the same time, they each need an escape, and fast. In Tatum's hometown, Eleanor expects a quiet hideaway where she can recharge. Instead, she gets wrapped up in the family drama that Tatum left town to avoid, pulled into Tatum's charismatic older sibling Carson, who charms Eleanor at every turn. Tatum ends up at Eleanor's New York high-rise apartment with June. 1 week together in the big city might just make it impossible for Tatum to avoid not just her true feelings for June, but her real dreams for her life. Amid a friendship with a reclusive Hollywood actress and a complicated family reunion, Tatum and Eleanor each discover much more than they bargained for away from home. Their house swap won't last forever, but they might be just long enough for both women to surrender their defenses and finally fight for the life and the love they deserve. Happy Friday, good people of the internet. I am done with 2 books and I'm going to start a 3rd book just to get something started for the weekend. My hope is to read 2 books this weekend. I might have to switch that around because I do have a book on NetGalley that is coming out on Tuesday and I would like to promote the book and promote the author and, promote that book that's coming out. That's another book by Bridget Morrissey that I'm really excited about. But I finished this book by Bridget Morrissey that she put out, I think last year, called Anywhere You Go. This was so cute. I enjoyed it so much. I am so excited to have read this book. Trove Hill feels like Gilmore Girls. And then there's just like delightful engagement in New York City with a formerly famous Broadway star or TV actor or something. And this was just really enjoyable. I loved it a lot. I would give it like 4.5 stars, in part because as the story is a little disconnected from each other, it's just sometimes a little hard to follow what's going on, and there's portions that are more interesting than others, right? Like the intersections of the stories are one you're more invested in, one you're less invested in, at least for me. And so I found myself really liking one storyline and really being oh, okay, the other storyline, but I really like this book. I really enjoyed it. And then I'm gonna start tonight Extra-curricular by Rachel and Solomon. This is a age gap romance with a former pop star falling for her college professor, but the former teen pop star is 27 in the story and the professor is 35 4 or something. So like it's age gap, but like barely. So I'm excited about this. We will see. I've liked Rachel Lynn Solomon's books. I've really enjoyed them. So I'm hoping this one is wonderful as well. And that is it for my cozy reading vlog for the week. I've read about 2.5 books. I read about 120 pages of extracurricular this evening. I am enjoying it so far. I am genuinely enwrapped in this story. I'm surprised at how into it I am. It's just so, partially because it's charming, partially because of like the handling of the mental health, partially because the story is just that interesting, but I am just loving this, delighted by it. I think that this will be a very quick read, and I plan on finishing it tomorrow morning, but thank you so much for watching.